I'm going to show you one of the most effective rigs for bass fishing on a public fishing area. This rig is extremely versatile. You can fish it from shallow to deep in all kinds of cover because when we get done it'll be weedless. It's called a Texas rig. The components that it uses are a worm weight, a bead, and a worm hook. And this worm hook has a little bend that holds the worm in place and keeps it from sliding down the shank, and then of course a plastic worm. So the way that we're going to rig this, we're going to take the worm weight, thread our line through the worm weight, and it'll slide up and down, then thread it through a bead. And the reason we have the bead there is to protect your knot so that this worm weight isn't beating against the knot. It protects the knot and keeps it stronger. Then we'll thread on a worm hook, tie a regular improved clinch knot 5 times over, go through the loop, and then you've just made a loop, so come back through that loop, wet it, cinch it down, clip your tag end right there. And then to rig this worm, what you do is you want to come down, you want to stay on that seam. When you look at a plastic worm, generally there's a seam, and it'll usually run better if you either come out on that seam or the other side. So what you do is you'll go in, put your worm hook in about 1/4 inch, and come out on the seam like that, and then you'll slide the worm up and turn it over, because what this will do, it'll keep the worm weedless, and that's how you want that hook to be in the worm once you're finished rigging it. So you'll back the hook up. First of all, lay it in place so you can see where it needs to be, then back the hook up, stick the hook in the worm, and what I do is move it back and forth a couple times so that it's not real tight, because you've got to drive that hook through this worm when the fish bites. And that's a rigged Texas rig. What'll happen is you cast out and that worm weight will come through grass and hangs, and your hook, as long as it's buried in the worm, will be weedless. So that's it.